How about TJ Watt? I saw somebody was breaking down tape the other day. He was just getting destroyed in the run game, and we know he didn't get anything done in the pass rush. Well, it seems clear that TJ's lost a step. I think every team would still like to have him. Don't get me wrong, but maybe not for $41 million a year. It seems like he's lost a step. Fair?
100%. And the stats back it up. TJ Watt is a speed rusher, and first step data does exist now in terms of how quick do you get off the ball. In 2023, I believe his first step was 0.75 seconds. This year, it's 0.87. That is significant. That 1/10 of a second matters for guys that are going to win with speed rush like TJ does. And that's his age. He's got to evolve his game. He's got to become more of a power rusher. He's got to have different ways. And I can see him experimenting with things, but it's not fully there yet. And that almost makes me think it's possible next year with another offseason, kind of knowing your limitations, you can actually develop that, and maybe TJ can have a little bit of a research. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. But for this year, I mean, he's been struggling with the chips, the double teams. He doesn't have the speed rush that he used to, so he's been relying on that. But the run defense, Joe, I think is the real thing that's been concerning. He's been just shooting up gaps, trying to make TFLs like he did when he was 27, hasn't been holding the edge. I think some of that is coaching, but I think that's what TJ likes to do. What teams are doing now is they're going heavy, they're reducing the splits of the receivers, and they're getting the Steelers into nickel, and they're forcing the corners or TJ to hold the edge. And TJ has not held the edge. And so teams now, remember early in the year when everyone's like, oh, they're running away from TJ Watt. Now they're running at him. And it's actually working. The last 3 weeks, teams have just run right at TJ Watt, and they've gotten some of their best runs against him. So the Bills knew that. They came in and did that. And that's going to be something that has to be fixed, whether it's a coaching point, whether it's TJ himself acknowledging that he needs to start holding the edge. The run defense part of that is concerning because the other side with Herbig and Highsmith is actually holding up their end of the deal.
And watching the game back, Nick, it just seemed like Keanu Benton and Y.A. Black were being pushed off the ball 2-3 yards back, where Cam Hayward was the only one at the point of attack getting a push. Why do you think that is? And is it just that they're just getting beat personnel on personnel?
Some of it is that, for sure. I mean, Y.A. Black did not play well in this game. I think he's kind of come back to earth after the summer that he had. He had a great summer, but the tape quietly over the last month or so has not been very good. And the Steelers have also found out over the last month he's not a nose tackle. He has not been good at nose tackle at all, so they've gotten him out of that spot. Broderick Martin, who was his replacement and he was inactive, came off the Chiefs practice squad, was not very good. In terms of Benton, I kind of expect Benton 2 or 3 times a game just to get completely detonated off the snap. That's just him, I think, at this point. But he's a very useful player. I really think Benton is one of those guys where if he left the Steelers and went to, San Francisco or somewhere where a team could really use that pass rushing skill set, he would be a lot more useful, and you'd see what makes Keanu Benton a good player a little more. He is a good player. So I do think there's that. But personnel-wise, they did just get beat. I mean, the thing people really aren't talking about enough is the Bills' game plan was to just make the Steelers' corners tackle, and the Steelers' corners did not tackle very well in this game. Plus, the linebackers don't stack and shed blocks all that well, or they're not athletic enough. I think, Patrick Queen isn't a great stack and shed guy. He's more of a flow and see guy. But then you get Malik Harrison in the game, and he doesn't have the speed to go sideline to sideline and get James Cook. So they're kind of in this bad conundrum where everything just amplifies itself one upon another. And then you have some weird alignment kind of ideas that the Steelers had. The way they were aligning some of the heavy sets and the condensed stuff made no sense. The run fits were out of sync. There's coaching, there's personnel issues, but they got punked up front personnel-wise. There's no doubt about it on Sunday.